Well, how are you?
Good, good.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Just gotta get to Thanksgiving.
Seriously.
Marietta, how are you? Supposed to wear this, we had a public thing, we can see us on the camera.
Meeting is now live on Zoom, so,
Oh, okay.
and all mics are on.
Hey, down, sir. Good. How are you?
Hello there, how are you? Benjamin?
How are you? Hey, Rowan. Sheath up. All right. Call the Cornwall-on-Hudson, Village of Cornwall-on-Hudson Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of November 18th, 2021 to order. We have one item on the agenda today, and that is Declan Quinn at 61 Avenue A. The applicant is seeking an area variance from section 172-8B and 172-43C of the Village Zoning Code to allow the construction of a 12-foot by 24-foot in-ground swimming pool with a 7.5-foot rear yard setback. The applicant would like to introduce themselves and just give us a brief introduction to what you're proposing.
Hi, yeah, I'm Etta Augustine, and Declan couldn't be here tonight, but
Okay.
we moved into the
I'm
house,
sorry, could you just formality, could you just say what address you're,
61 Avenue A.
okay.
Cornwall-on-Hudson. We moved in April, so we haven't been there very long. And we wanted to put a pool in the back, and we thought that we had enough room, but they said we need a variance, so that's why we're here.
Okay. So it's an in-ground pool that you'd like to put in the back.
All the neighbors, they're all fine,
Okay.
the ones that it would affect.
And let's see. So you need a variance because is the,
7.5 feet is what proposed.
it's a
Mhm.
7.5 foot rear yard setback.
Mhm.
And is the 32, no. Okay, so it's because it's it's within 20 feet of the rear property line.
Right.
And just kind of looking, your house, it's like a corner lot, correct?
Yeah, it is.
I'm just trying to get a sense of, it's not showing it on here, where the house
Oh, it's in
is.
the package here. It's at the,
That's definitely a corner lot. Okay, so you have your neighbor's house is directly behind you.
Yeah.
And then the neighbor to the side of you is sort of diagonally.
On the corner,
Yeah.
Pat is her name. I have not actually met her, but,
Yeah. I figured.
I've talked to all the other neighbors except her.
Mhm.
I think that she had some sort of accident or something right before we moved in.
Oh, okay.
Did I just be home right before and delivery before?
I guess looking at this, the one outstanding, we always have to consider, if you're requesting a variance, is there some other way of placing it, either making it smaller or putting it in a different location that is kind of less obtrusive and
I don't think they can put it any closer to the house, and
Mhm.
we've got like the narrowest, unless if it was like a lap pool, but we did come down in the size. And our neighbor's house, they have a big yard too, the ones in the back.
Mhm.
They have a big yard too, and they are not bothered at all
Mhm.
by us having it there. I don't think we can put it over farther. We thought about putting, but then it would just be too close on the corner lot.
Yeah.
Is that the Bartolone property behind you? Or
The what?
Bartolone? Or Bartolone? Or are those the,
No,
I'm just looking at the map as to
She probably
who's,
doesn't know.
oh,
I think they
okay.
just moved in.
Okay.
their last name starts with an S, Chris and Deborah.
Okay. Well, on this map at least, it says Bartolone on
I think he was,
the one directly behind you.
I think he was the builder.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
But that's the
This-
property
this
you're
property
referring to, right?
Yeah, that's
When
the
you're
one I'm
saying
talking
they're
about.
fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what we were trying, I mean, I had the same question is, on this map, you know, was there a configuration where you looked at placing it perhaps where the 3 is, where it's less obtrusive or doesn't encroach the boundaries, or what were the considerations there about it perhaps being in a space?
I don't think it worked with the, it's hard for me to see. I don't think it worked with this side thing. There's a big boulder here too, as well. And then it would be really visible from the street.
So is that boulder not visible on the drawing?
No.
So that's a
Okay,
15 by 8 foot.
Okay.
okay. Yeah, so that's where
That would be
Yeah.
critical to see on there.
the boulder here.
That's
Okay.
important. Yeah, I mean, 'cause just looking at it, you have a pretty large wedge-shaped side backyard to the.
Yeah, we were surprised we needed a variance, because we thought when we bought the house, the yard was kind of big. But
Mhm.
I mean, I looked at it with a ruler. I couldn't figure out a way to,
Yeah.
to put a 12 by 24.
Need the variance.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
matter
no matter
Yeah, I
what,
think you're
right.
gonna need one.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's the, so the other question, I just, the side yard variance, the 17-foot one at the upper corner. So there's already a non-conforming lot, I guess is the question too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's already a non-conforming lot if it's, this corner is 17 feet, when it probably need to be
Yeah, it's probably
20.
20.
Yeah, that's,
That just means it's pretty common for houses in the village. It's got an existing nonconformity where the zoning code was enacted after most of the houses were built. So it's perfectly fine. It's just
Mhm.
you would have to go before the zoning board anyway, no matter where it is. Let's see. And I assumed, I don't know if you know this, but just looking at the map, is the house behind you, is it pretty much like directly parallel behind you?
Yes. It is. So the pool would be
To the right.
to the right of that.
Mm-hmm. And the boulder that you were talking about, if you did slip this pool a little bit farther this way, is it, I don't know where I should probably call it a rock outcropping. It's probably not just a big rock. It's-
It's something nice.
But is that
18
the
inches
direction?
exposed. I think that back right corner of the pool, of that rectangle would, that rock would prohibit it from really moving
Mhm.
in that direction towards, if I understand what you're.
But, isn't the variance for the back of it?
Yeah, it's for the back. I was just thinking if your neighbor's house is right here, like directly here, you have the pool directly in between the two of them.
No.
If you were to move it this way, maybe it wouldn't be
Yeah, but
so intrusive to them.
Our house is
Do you
here.
wanna take this? Do you wanna
Thanks.
just kind of point it, maybe that's easier.
Okay, so our house and their house is here.
Mm-hmm.
The pool would be, like halfway. It doesn't start right.
Yeah. Like, what I'm saying? If their house is like mirrored like yours, it's directly behind their house. If you were to,
Right. Well,
move it
doesn't
this
feel
way.
like that. Maybe their house is here, because
Mhm.
this is our backyard where we hang out.
Okay.
And their house is right here, so it isn't there.
Okay. I mean, it could be.
So it's over to the side, their house is more,
It is, but it feels like it's right behind ours,
Sure.
because that's where our yard is.
okay.
So, yeah.
And it's not set back, so like there's space on their side as well, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. Like
actually,
it's not
they
like there's
were-
only 7 feet between your pool and their house. Like it's,
No,
there's
no.
more space in the yard. Okay,
Yeah, no, their yard is pretty much the same size as ours.
Okay.
okay.
There's a-
And
looks like
there's
there's
good
some-
space, okay. So
They
that-
were talking about getting a pool, but they decided not to, so.
well, they can come use yours.
Is there
But
vegetation?
then you'll have to get another
Shrubs?
variance
Thank
for a
you.
Sort of
gate.
slid.
They
It's
have a
not directly
huge
behind.
Oak tree
Yeah.
between the two
This is,
properties.
yeah, I should
Yeah,
have done
okay.
this before.
Um,
Thank you.
I think their backyard is probably quite a bit.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
But,
Okay.
yeah, it feels
there's
like
a large
it's separated now.
Tree here too
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, they planted all that whole line of trees.
Whose
yeah.
phone is this? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys wanna say? Hold it up.
All right.
So here's the house.
Let's see.
Here.
Do you know where the equipment is going to go for the pool, like the filtration pumps and everything?
Yeah, that's gonna go,
So this is looking
right
at it just
here
like
on the
this and
side.
this.
Okay, so
And we'll
that's
build something
this.
around it.
gotcha.
And
So it's
then-
next to your house. It's not. It's far away from the
Yeah, it's
neighbors.
right next to
Okay.
ours. It's-
So right there. Okay. Yeah. Like every other pool in the village. Okay. This is a boulder.
What else? And the topography of your yard, it's relatively flat, right?
Yeah, it is flat.
Yep.
Except for boulders.
Yeah.
Just trying to make sure it doesn't like disrupt the ground flow and kind of pile water on the neighbors.
Yeah, I just hope that pool people know what they're doing, right?
Oh, famous last words.
Pretty straightforward piece of.
Yeah. Well, I know water does land in the neighbor's yard now.
How about a fence? You're gonna
Yeah,
put a
we're
fence
gonna
up.
put a fence around the whole thing.
Is that gonna be, I assume that's just sort of a continuation of what, the fence that you have
Of what
there?
we have now, yeah.
Any trees being, knocked down?
No. We don't have a tree in our yard. there is a tree in the yard behind us, and the pool guy said it would be nice to cut a couple branches,
Mm-hmm.
and, we don't know if we want to do that, but the neighbor said he was fine with it, so. But we don't have to do that.
Okay.
He said just for leaves, shade. So, yeah.
Anyone else have any concerns?
There's no letters or anything that came in, right? Nobody had any issues?
No, I didn't see anything.
Not this.
I know. Don't postpone it for
So
2
they'll come
months.
back in 2 weeks?
Right, exactly. Very exciting.
All right. Sweetie, you got any outstanding concerns?
I do not. I read through everything. I looked at everything. My only concern, and you've addressed it, is just where was the house? I just wanted to make sure the house wasn't
Yep.
right on the other side of the border.
All right. Okay. Well, we considered the proposal, and we have a couple of criteria that we generally judge or analyze the proposal under. The first is whether the proposal has an undesirable change on the neighborhood. It's an in-ground pool. You said, you talked about how it's there are many pools in the neighborhood, but a lot of them are above ground. An in-ground pool there wouldn't be a deck associated with it. It wouldn't kind of be too visible from the neighboring properties. So that's good. Another is whether the benefit, the proposal can be achieved by some other method, and that's kind of what we were talking about of where the pool is placed on the yard. And just looking at at an area map, it seems like there's more space towards the side to the northwest of the house. But as you said, there's an obstruction there, so that's not really
But
possible.
And it's at a diagonal too, but the boulder is probably the main reason.
Yeah,
Declan would have been better coming here, but he couldn't come tonight.
that's okay.
No, it's okay. You're doing a good job. You're fine. Don't worry about it. We just have to ask the questions.
No,
So
Yeah.
that's our job. Okay.
Another criteria is whether the variance is a substantial proposal. If it substantially infringes on the rear yard setback. I mean, it is. It's I think 20 feet is required, and it's down to 7'6". If there's any way you can move that a little bit closer towards the house, that would be, it might be beneficial for you just to have more space between the fence and the rear, and having more space around the pool if it was a little bit closer to the house.
Right.
But I believe you said you're kind of constrained by the excavation being too close to the house. It becomes a little more
Well, I think
difficult.
It already is pretty close to
It
the
is,
house.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 15.
No, I'm saying if you were to move it really close to the house, then it
Right.
just becomes a danger during excavation.
Oh, yeah.
Equipment back there.
Yep.
Another criteria that we look at is whether the alleged difficulty was self-created. Obviously is self-created. Kind of in light of the other criteria, I don't think we're really looking to place a lot of emphasis on that one. And then, well, that's it. That's the 5. No, I missed one. No, I'm sorry. I skipped one. It's whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental environment of the neighborhood. I think because it's an in-ground pool, you're not removing any trees. There's gonna be a fence, so it's secure. It's not affecting any ground flow of drainage through the neighborhood. That it's, I think everyone would agree, it's not really very impactful. Not really visible, it's not taking away anyone's view.
Right.
So I think it satisfies the majority of those criteria. Then the last thing we have to do is determine whether it is compliance with the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA. The board confirmed and determined that the application was subject to SECRA review.
It's actually it's a type 2 action, so we don't have to do any further environmental review under SECRA.
Okay. Perfect. And one other final, because it is, your property is within 500 feet of the town of Cornwall municipal boundary. This was referred to the Orange County Department of Planning. And it's basically asking permission for, or see if they have any objections. And they replied, Department of Planning has reviewed the submitted materials regarding the above appeal for area variances. While the Zoning Board of Appeals must weigh the local issues and balancing the needs of the appellate with the potential impacts on the surrounding area, it does not appear that intermunicipal or countywide impacts will result if the board finds that granting relief is warranted in this matter. And their recommendation is that it's local determination, which means that they're empowering this board to make the decision. And that there's a letter from the board, from the Department of Planning dated October 20th, 2021. So I think given all the criteria and the issues that we've reviewed today, I would motion for an approval of the proposal.
So just before we do that procedurally, doesn't look like we have anybody else from the public. I don't think we have anybody online, do we? So if you want to just move to close the public hearing, and then you can move to approve.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
And then move to approve the application.
Motion.
Yep.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, you're approved.
You're welcome. It looks like it's gonna be really nice when it's done, yeah.
I didn't tell you that you have to host a pool party.
I just like this whole fire pit thing. that's going on.
It's online. We're live.
There's nobody watching.
I just trying to get I just text my kids to put us on, they gave him 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Because it's on Facebook,
Like,
it's on
Dad's on
Zoom.
TV.
Can't find it on Facebook. Well,
That's it.
It was on TikTok.
take
You're
care.
welcome. Take care.
Some of the board work.
There's
Trying to
minutes.
leave.
Oh, yeah, right.
He's gone. Gotta get to Final Jeopardy.
Here it is. We have 2? Yes. Okay. These are the minutes from the meeting of September 9th, where we considered the application for Raymond and Susan Kurtulik of 81 Weeks Avenue. Does anyone have any objection to the minutes?
No.
Motion to approve the minutes of September 9th, 2021. Approved. And then we have the, I did it backwards. The minutes from Thursday, September 23rd, where we considered, this was the first time that the Kurtuliks came to the board.
When we didn't have the letter
Yes,
from Orange, from the
correct.
county.
Anyone have any objections to the minutes?
Nope.
They were good minutes.
They're excellent.
Riveting.
Ripping. Motion to approve the minutes of Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, and then I guess we have to approve the zoning board dates for 2022.
Oh, gosh.
Second.
Aye.
See, it's my birthday on here.
Is your birthday on there?
My birthday is not on here.
Okay.
What else?
So nobody gets a pool on that day.
The wife's birthday. No wife's birthday. That's good. Not bad.
I'm out of town for June.
Motion to approve the zoning board dates of 2022.
Aye.
Yep.
Second.
It's the same schedule as now, right? It's
Basically.
just that
Yeah,
it's in the new year.
it's, I think it's
Okay.
just it's supposed to be the second Thursday of every month.
Okay, I'm just making sure it didn't we didn't go crazy and
No.
change it. Okay.
Okay, I think we're done here. Motion to close the meeting?
Thank you. Oh, this is the social event of my week, though, so thank you all.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone see you
Thank
next
you.
month, maybe.
Yes,
Thank you, Jonathan.
thank you. Have a good Thanksgiving.